Howdy, this is Nicole. I decided for this week to go back to a previous week's type of presentation because I like it, and I also realized after watching the videos and doing the reading that the church that I'm serving, Holy Trinity Lutheran in Littleton, does do a narrative budget. And so I wanted to take you through and show you a little bit of what a narrative budget annual report looks like because I'm really excited about this. So somebody at some point in time went back and actually did what David had suggested to follow people around, find out how much time and money is spent on each different area of the church. So this is the beginning, so to speak, of the narrative ministry plan. I like the pie charts. You can see how much of a percentage that the budget is spent on each area. So a budget of $492,000 broken down by percentages. From there, they actually take each type of care that they provide. This happens to be pastoral care, and I'm just going in order that they presented in the annual report. So on the right, you can see the pie chart and also what they consider to be part of pastoral care. Staff is always included, preaching, caring team, hospital visits, and on the left are pictures of members of the congregation who are being helped by the care. Again, we move on to youth and family ministry. Now, Pastor Sonia, who had been supervising me for the last few months, is a children, youth, and family pastor. So in her report, she has a 3-page report after all these pictures that detail all these different areas that are listed here. The Faith Quest meetings, the Financial Peace University, the Little Ringers, the Senior High Ministry. She talks about them in her written report, the narrative portion of or the narrative written portion. And again, this following the same format. On the right, what happens. On the left, who is doing it. I'm going to go a little bit quicker through here, providing generosity, all the different outreach that is done by the church. Radical hospitality, which is something that you might notice a couple of duplications, family promises here. Family Promise also appeared under another column, but Urban Servant Corps, the Labyrinth supporting the Rocky Mountain Ministries, Clergy Tech Study, how we're reaching out. We have a preschool that is located in the basement of the church. I think that's really important to support. Global missions, reaching outside not just the building but the state. When I first started at Holy Trinity, within a week a group went down to El Paso. We partner with a synod down in El Tronador. We have companion synods in Madagascar, and they are mentioned every week in our prayers. Music plays a big part in Holy Trinity. You notice they bought a new piano about a year ago. Great volunteers had to come in and reinforce the chancel because it kept breaking the tiles. So people came in to help do that. So listing the different types of worship and music that go on at the church. Now, this is the beginning of the written portion of the agenda. So you get a table of contents. Each one of the areas that had pictures, a member of the committee or team wrote about what they had done during the year. And again, this is just showing a little bit more about what the different people who are involved within the church and the committee. I think it's really important to lift up the names of the people who are really involved. Now, the one thing that the pastor from Texas talked about, how do the pastors let the congregation know what they are up to? Pastor Dave, who was the lead pastor, instructed me to follow his example. Now, this is the Congregational Council meets once a month, and this is one that I happen to have on my home computer, a list of what Pastor Dave does in the month. This happens to be the month of May, ending May 20th, 2017. So every month I will sit down with my calendar and write down and list what I spend in pastoral care, what I spend in worship, how many times I preach, how many times I meet with committees, just so that there is a consistent report to the Congregational Council about how staff, particularly pastors, are spending their time in the congregation. Now, where does Holy Trinity go from here? I've been working with the stewardship team, or I should say I've been attending the meetings and discussing how the next annual report will be presented. How can we update the annual report from what it is now? I like the narrative format, but we thought rather than separating the left and the right side, we would present it more of a collage. So in the center, have the pie chart, and then around it, have the pictures that would be on the left spread throughout both pages, and then have explanations and narrative written by the pictures, maybe explaining who the people are and what they're doing and the different ministries that they are serving, just to try and rather than having a left and right, a totality of what the narrative looks like at Holy Trinity. The one thing that I have noticed that is missing over the last 5 months that I've been here is the monthly temple talks. The pastor from Texas was saying that we should be putting people in front of the congregation to tell the stories of the congregation. And I think that's the only part that I can see that could be tweaked. Pastor Dave has been on sabbatical for 3 months. Pastor Sonia and I have been doing our best to keep up and make sure that the roof doesn't leak, the organ plays, and that people are still showing up to service. I think the next step with Pastor Dave back is to get back on track and have people do temple talks at least once a month from all the different ministries. Those are my thoughts at this point. Thanks.